What's up, guys? Robert here with A1 Locksmith. We're back. It's A1EDU. We like to come, bring videos. We're going to educate. We're going to talk about what's out there, product videos and how-to videos, things of that nature, right? And so we wanted to jump into something kind of big, kind of a big deal this week, right? We're going to take a look from the family of Browning Pro Steel safes. And specifically, in this video, we're going to look at the Browning PINNACLE 65T. Let's get into the video. All right, you're gonna wanna stay tuned. There's a lot of information about this safe. Here we go. Browning's PINNACLE 65T. Again, Browning makes guns, not safes, but they have an awesome relationship with the company Pro Steel Safes out of Utah. That's who makes them. They build a great box. This is an American-made safe, as most of their catalog is. They have some that aren't, but for the most part, right? So let's talk about some of its key features. One, we're gonna have to talk about the size, right? Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is ridiculous. So let's go ahead and let's measure this bad boy. This some gun stands 72 inches tall. It is 59 inches across. And this monster is 27 inches deep, okay? This is the biggest one they make. This is also their creme de la creme, to be honest with you. And we're gonna get in all those features, stay with me. But this one offers the most burglar, the most fire, and we're about to discuss what that means and why, okay? So we've got the size down now. We've got the name of this safe. Big key component would be fire rating. I don't normally jump into this as fast, but again, I want you to understand that this is their best model that they're producing. Oh, I'm sorry, second best. I actually do make a TL30 now, that's fair to say. So as far as gun safes that are not TL rated, this is their best one they make. This is actually rated at 2 hours at, don't let me lie to you, 1,750 degrees. We like to break this down, let's do so. All right, we'll dim the lights. So let's say that there's a fire and it's burning and that fire gets as hot as 1,750 degrees. And let's say that it stays that hot for 2 hours consecutively. This safe will not breach 275 degrees on the interior that entire time. Their fire rating is pretty intense. That's a really good one to watch out for. So in that case, we're talking house is gone, we should be good. And we've seen some examples of that over the years actually to kind of prove that point. What they do that makes this different than some of their other models is they construct this one of 3/16 inch steel on the body and on the exterior of the door. And I said exterior. So on the inside of the door, they go ahead and they install a 1/4 inch thick plate, right? So not only are you messing with 3/16 here, you've got another 1/4 inch on the door. So if you're trying to pry and beat and do all these things, have at it. Good luck. It does have the exterior hinges, so we do get that full 180 swing. We're gonna pop in just a second. I just wanna hit some of these key features. This is a custom color. For us only, to be honest with you. We wanted something very specific for a project we've got coming up here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We've got a store on the way that'll be a little bit further north of where I'm standing in a town called Salina. So we went ahead and got a really cool, what we like to call Salina orange, because that's the home team's colors for their school. So we actually got this done in that. However, there are 12 colors available on the website and in the catalog that you can order, okay? Lock, as always, we can go keypad, we can go mechanical, we can go biometric. Hardware, 3 color options, black chrome, polished chrome, and bright brass, all available. All the finishes are really cool, so you can kind of mix and match what color hardware you want with that paint job, okay? So I don't want to bore you too much with that, but all that is available. Let's really get into the goody-goody, right? We've already discussed this powerful safe. With all that steel, by the way, I should probably say, very important, Being that it is 3/16 body, 3/16 door with the 1/4 inch on top of that, these big bolts we're about to look at, this thing comes in at 1,960 pounds. That's a lot of safe. So, I'm gonna stop it right there so you can get it from this angle too. These are the max bolts. They are 1 inch thick. They are 4 inches wide. They are all the way around this door completely. And when I say completely, gang, they are in the corners and they are in all 4 corners. That's 16 of those max bolts total when we close this thing. As far as also security, I think it's pretty impressive as a locksmith. If you were to attempt to drill to get into this lock and just, hey, I don't need all that security, I don't care, I'm just gonna pass right through it, I'm gonna drill into it. Good luck, first of all. There are 2 1/4 inch thick layers of plate steel in front of the lock also. They've done a really good job of making a really well-built gun safe with some serious features. And that's before we get into, again, they have another one, we're gonna have to do a video on it, but they have something called a TL, which is a totally different thing, totally different rating of safes. We're gonna talk about those in some videos. We've seen this before, but let's see it again. 13 long guns on the door, scope savers, so that we can put 1, 2, 3, 4 scoped rifles on the door. We've got the pouches, so we can do 10 pistols here. And again, they've got the MOLLE system going on right there so that if you have a shorter long gun, we've done it in other videos, if you haven't seen it, but if you do a shorter gun here, they make a metal hook that goes right here so that the barrel catches down here instead of, because it won't reach up here. So you've got all kinds of options to store. So just think about that for a minute. That's legitimately 13 long guns on the door. That's fantastic. And that's actually the barrel, nope, that's the quick access barrel rack. Sorry, I don't want to say it wrong. Okay, let's go into the inside now. We've got the Axis shelving that they call these. These are, again, poly covered solid steel shelves. Each one of these is rated to hold 72 pounds per shelf. It's a really impressive thing. I can't state that enough when you're putting stuff on. Again, bringing numbers back around, that's about 3,000 rounds of 223 ammo for you guys out there with the big stacks. So we've got the barrel racks that go all the way across, the high capacity barrel racks. I shoved a bunch in right here. We'll talk about that in a second. We've got the drawer. We've got the file box. And then with this one, a little bit different than some of the other models, we get the pistol shelf. That's a really unique thing. We'll talk about that. We've got the cedar lined interior all the way around the inside walls, including the ceiling. The floor has their faux leather, or what do they call it? Composite leather, I think, something. It's not real leather, but you know, it gets the point across. It's really nice. So it's actually, I've seen plenty of customers, it's worn and taken to time very nicely. The cedar is real, that's legit. That is actually legit cedar paneling. It does have the power. You can see the LED lights are on, they're bouncing everywhere. The lights bouncing all inside there. And it does have the sensor at the bottom. So when the door shuts on this, how Browning does it, that door covers up that sensor, and so that pops back on. So I wanted to talk about it again, the pistol shelf. They came out with this thing to hold an additional 6 pistols. So let's just really count up, should we? 10 on the door, okay? You can see here, I've got a pistol with an optic on it, intentionally to show you that I can hang 5 pistols right here under the shelf, 2 of them with large optics. Mine doesn't have a large optic, but you can get them with large optics, have plenty of room there too. Over here, 5 more pistols, okay? And these come with it. All this is included except for my weapons of choice. You can't have those. But then you get 12 more on that shelf. So, and with that, you know, I've seen it, a customer did it. He showed it to me when we were looking at pictures of the safe once after we'd already installed it for him and everything. He had all these pistols, kind of like I have them set up in here, but he had the shelf right here. And so then he was able to take like his over and unders and put them in there as well. So he had rifles utilizing that same space, and he had a bunch of pistols in it too. So you get all that storage. The Browning Pinnacle 65T is called that because it is a 65 long gun safe. It'll hold 65 long guns. A lot of people like to tempt, and I know all the comments, believe me, 20 years in the game, I've heard them all. How whatever that number is, you cut it in half and that's the real, I know. But Browning's a little bit different, guys. I took some time and shoved some really bulky, really awkward guys into this shelf right here, okay? Check this out. I wanted to focus on how I could take the high capacity rack with 5 scope weapons, all kind of bulky. There's one in here that's not. It's my new lever action 410, in case you're wondering. And shove them in that one little hole, because that right there fills up a lot of smaller gun safes that a lot of guys have. They're like 30 inches wide or smaller. Just these guns alone fill that up. They are fine in this hole right here. And I could probably fit 1 or 2 more with no optic on it, honestly, if I took a little more time and moved them around. It's really impressive. That's what we like about this interior so much. That's why we talk about it. It does have the 4 holes in the ground so that we can bolt it down. I talked about the color options on the paint and the finish. I talked about the lock options. The elevated floor, as a gun guy, I like that a lot. The elevated floor means that the floor is level with the opening of the door, so you don't have to worry about pulling weapon out and banging that stock as you're bringing it up and out, which is really nice for our more expensive stocks especially, right? The cedar, oh, this is the Pinnacle. So it's gonna come in at about $13,600. Again, this is July of 2023. If you go to build this right now, we're gonna start at about $13,600. You can build this safe as is. You can't have this color. In a high gloss paint job with a keypad lock. Again, everything on the inside remains the same. You get it all. That's gonna come in at about $14,200. So bang for your buck when you come back to, again, like we talked about, for so much steel and so much fire, all of the bolts and all of the storage and all that size, in the safe world, I think you'll find this a pretty fair deal. So again, all the points that I covered, yep. So if you guys have any questions about this, we ask that you leave them down in the comments. I also ask, as always, that you please subscribe, follow along. If I did okay, like it. And again, tell me what other videos I need to be making. But again, thank you for watching. This is the Browning Pinnacle 65T. We'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.